Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about David Benavidez taking on Anthony Yarde this November for the WBC light heavyweight title. It's going to be David Benavidez' first fight on Riyadh season, and it's a big fight. This is a big fight. Obviously David Benavidez, former super middleweight fighter, reasonably new light heavyweight fighter. Speaks first chance at a light heavyweight title. And he's taking on Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde's had now a few shots at different titles. He did take on Beterbiev back in 2023 and got stopped. And he even took on Sergey Kovalov in 2019 and lost that fight as well. So he's had a few shots, and to be honest, the opponents just seem to be getting harder and harder. Some people get such easy title fights. Anthony Yarde has had to take on David Benavidez, Beterbiev, and Kovalov for world championships. It's outrageous, but you got to give him one thing. At least he's not shying away from the challenge. To be honest, I don't see a world in which Anthony Yarde wins this fight. If I'm being brutally honest, I think David Benavidez is just too much of a monster for Anthony Yarde. Look, Anthony Yarde's no doubt got the power to stop his opponent. There's no doubt about that. And if Benavidez isn't fully locked in and fighting the monstrous way he does, Anthony Yarde's got a good enough chance to win this fight. I just think, for my early sort of thoughts, I think David Benavidez probably stops Anthony Yarde. I will say David Benavidez hasn't looked, I think, in my opinion, as good at light heavyweight as he was at super middleweight. But hey, this could be the fight that really makes a statement, especially if he can stop Anthony Yarde and take over this WBC light heavyweight title. All right. So now a few hours ago, this also broke. Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes will meet for the vacant WBO lightweight title in November in Saudi Arabia on the David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde fight, with Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney also on the card. Turki Al-Sheikh has confirmed. I mean, it's stacking up to be a great card, isn't it? Like, absolutely phenomenal card. I'm not going to announce the fights that sort of haven't been fully confirmed, but there are murmurs that Moses Atauma is going to be on this card as well. Look, they're going to put together another brilliant Riyadh season card. I mean, those three fights alone, they're all very good fights, and there's probably an argument to make that they're all almost 50-50. I would say Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney, the hype would be on Brian Norman Jr., but the experiences with Devin Haney. Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason, I'd probably say Abdullah Mason is tipping the odds his way, but that's another really close fight. I think the biggest spreader would be David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde, and even still, Anthony Yarde's probably got enough in the tank to get a big win over David Benavidez if Anthony Yarde is 100% locked in and fights a brilliant fight. He can most definitely beat David Benavidez. All right, what other news we got going today? Chavez Jr. arrested by ICE for cartel affiliation. Right, okay, well, we're not going to get too into political things. Yeah, I mean, that's surprising. He fought 5 days ago. Anyway, President Trump mulls UFC fight on White House grounds. I did see this. I know it's UFC, but I still want to talk about it because Dana White's now got this affiliation with Riyadh season. I don't know exactly what sort of event they're going to put on, but 20,000 spectators on the White House grounds for a fight. That's big. That is big. He did speak. He's like, there's going to be professionals, amateurs, all sorts, big things in the works. Who knows if this could be a TKO and Seller production with boxing and UFC on it. Obviously, Dana White has got his feet in boxing as well. Frank Martin versus Rancins Barthélemy in talks for August 16th for Tank vs Roach 2 undercard. Yeah, good fight. I'm very excited for Tank vs Roach. I think the first fight was a draw. I would still be thinking Tank needs to get the job done. I think the first fight is a bit of a wake up call. I would almost put it on the level sort of Liam Cameron versus Whitaker, because Whitaker got out of there so luckily with a draw and made up for it with that outstanding stoppage victory, early or not. What else do we have? Floyd Schofield rises on the rings rankings. He's now number 6. That top 6 being Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, Raymond Moratella, Andy Cruz. He's above Frank Martin, Baranchuk, Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason. Obviously, lots of this will be cleared out and separated in the next few months. Shakur Stevenson, he's got that fight with William Zepeda. There's 2 and 3. Raymond Moratella, he's got the belt and he's taking on Andy Cruz. That one will be separated as well. Floyd Schofield, I want to see him fight the winner of Zepeda versus Shakur. Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. I mean, they're 2 young fighters to be in the top 10. They're doing excellent stuff. All right, I think that. Oh, actually, no. Let's touch in on that. What did you guys make of? I made a video about this yesterday, and then sort of an hour and a half after, Tyson Fury Instagrams a thing saying announcement April 18th, 2026, Fury versus Usyk, the trilogy confirmed. Now this is Tyson Fury and his promoter that sort of announced this. Obviously, no other confirmations were done. I don't believe through Turki Al-Sheikh or any of the other sort of organisers of these major events. It's an odd one. I mean, it's a way to see if the public really wants it. It's a way to try and make the fight yourself if it doesn't seem to be going your sort of way in managers' meetings or whatever. I think this heavyweight division is on stall until 2 weeks' time. As soon as we see someone's hand be lifted, whether it be Usyk, whether it be Dubois, whether it be both of them, we won't know what's next for any of these heavyweights that are sort of sitting on the bench waiting to see. And there is a lot of them. Obviously, some of them are just getting on with business. Some of them we haven't heard much from. But look, it's a big fight. This month is a huge month. I'm going to be making heaps of videos this month. Obviously, we've got Ring 3. We've got Pacquiao's return, Tim Tszyu, Fundora, Usyk, Dubois, that whole card. We got Serrano, Taylor 3. We got Bam Rodriguez, Cafu. Who else do we have this month? I'm probably missing an absolute shocker here. But either way, huge month of boxing. Which event? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. Which event are you looking forward to the most? I would expect most of you to say Dubois versus Usyk. So how about we say, you can't say Dubois versus Usyk. What other fight or event this month are you most looking forward to? Is it Pacquiao? Is it Tszyu versus Fundora? Is it the whole Ring 3 card? Is it one particular fight on any of these cards that you're really looking forward to? Is it Bam Rodriguez versus Cafu? That one's really being pushed aside because of Pacquiao fighting on the same day and Usyk versus Dubois. They've sort of taken the major headlines. But Bam Rodriguez, he is most definitely one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world right now. To be honest, obviously I've got big love for Tim Tszyu, Australian bias and all that. That fight's probably the one that's got my eye the most outside of Usyk versus Dubois. I don't really have much interest in Barrios versus Pac-Man, to be honest. I think it's a bit farcical, and I think Barrios, if he's got anything to him, he will dispatch of Manny Pacquiao with comfort. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I am really, I will make videos of the week for Ring 3. I'm really intrigued about Zepeda versus Hamza Shiraz. I think that's such a weird matchup of sort of styles. Sorry, did I say Shiraz versus Zepeda. I meant Shakur Stevenson versus Zepeda. Um, Shakur Stevenson versus Zepeda. I think that's such a great matchup of styles. Obviously, Shakur back foot sort of defensive sort of fighter, and Zepeda he would just brawl with you, get in there, and try and hit you with as many punches as physically possible. So it'll be good to see. Obviously, I'll break those down when we get to it. But even still, saying that Hamza Shiraz, he's making the move up in weight. That frame of his, a bit like Sebastian Fedora, is always a bit mind-boggling. The way in which their opponents will go at it. Obviously, we know Berlanga, he's a big, powerful puncher. Will he be able to get in close, and will Shiraz be able to stop the power of Berlanga? Obviously, I think Shiraz is coming off a very fortunate draw against Adames, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes at the new weight. All right, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe. We're getting these videos out more and more frequently. I love the engagement that I'm getting in the comments section, the likes, everything. We're chasing down 100 subscribers. Obviously, I keep saying the more subscribers, the more interaction on this channel, the better quality of content. I've got big ideas, but I need you guys all to help out so we can make those things happen. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See yous.